I'm got a couple things I wanted to go over with everybody. So I'm trying to find the right page. Bear with me 1 minute as I'm got a couple things I wanted to go over with everybody. So I'm trying to find. There we are. There we are. There we are. All right. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Zoom. And I'm looking forward to covering some information with you. So welcome. If this is your first time to DAC Zoom, sorry for the late start, and we appreciate you being here, part of the DAC family. We're on a mission, and that mission is to make a major impact for business owners and for you. And a lot of companies have that mission, and that's great. And you want to find the company that feels right for you. Business owners, as you know, can't get funding from their bank. Some can, a small percentage, or if they can, they can't wait the month to 2 months, or they don't want to put up collateral, et cetera. So banks are great, but they do require collateral. They do require 2 years profitable business. They do require 700 plus FICO score. They do require a business plan. So the odds of a business owner getting funded or being able to wait for the funding, they got to be real big business owners generally. They're looking for millions, et cetera. But Joey's Pizza, Leslie's Construction, all those people locally who are looking for 60 grand, 40 grand, 90 grand. Yeah, that's not happening at their bank generally. They can do it, but it's rare, right? The bank's got to say no. So alternative capital was the answer. As you know, alternative capital is fabulous. You can get funded without collateral. You can get funded as long as you're doing revenue. FICO score can be as low as 550. Got to be in business only 4 months. All you got to do is have checking account statements to show your sales, and you can get an offer. There's over 100 alternative capital providers. It's amazing. Downside, there's not one that's best for all, and most are not good for any. I've never said that before, but I like that. There's not one that's best for all, and most aren't good for many. And so what that means is you need Bank Breezy, because we said, hey, rather than hoping the business owner knows which one to apply at, rather than hoping they're not on the phone with a commission salesperson who's jacking their price way up, rather than they're hoping they're not on the phone with a business that is going to decline them because they don't like their industry and make that business owner think they can't get alternative capital, rather than all that, rather than the business owner having to apply it more than 20 places, which is what they'd have to do. The average business owner would have to apply at 20 to get the best offer from those 20. Rather than having to do that, we started something called Bank Breezy that you are now partnered with, right? Where we can refer them to your Bank Breezy page through David Allen Capital, of course. And you get credit for referring them, and we save them a bunch of time and get them the offer when they've got an opportunity they want to pursue. What is it costing them to wait? What is it costing your business that you didn't start prospecting last week or the week before, or that you didn't build a team last week or the week before? See, waiting, you may not feel it's costing you, but it's costing opportunity. It's costing competition to get an edge. You waiting equals competition passing. And a business owner, a nail salon waiting is competition's blowing by them. A restaurant waiting is competition's getting those loyal customers instead. Nope, you can't sit on your laurels when you're in a competitive business. You always got to be improving. And so it's hurting them to wait to launch. You can help them, but you got to get the word out, right? So that's the beautiful thing about our business funding is it's answering a need that nobody else, you have no competition. Once a business owner learns, but until they learn, you've got a lot of competition. Telemarketers are calling. I got a text today from 2 different lenders already today offering me funding. I'm not even looking for funding, right? And they're both promising my offer already. That's your competition. People misleading business owners. I don't know how I got on that list, but I'm on it, and I've been on it for 3 years, and I get texts every week. And so does the restaurant owner that you know, and so does the salon owner. And so your competition is them until you've educated the business owner. As soon as you've educated the business owner, then guess what? The telemarketer can't offer that. That person texting can't offer that. But if you're only talking business funding, you sound just like all the others. You have to be talking about our competitive advantage, right? Which is what? The Bank Breezy Business Funding Platform. That's the competitive advantage because that's what gets them the best offer from all the places without them having to apply at all the places, right? So our BizOp talks about this. We just posted a new video on YouTube the other day that talks about this. We put it all over our website, talks about this, but it doesn't matter if you're not talking about this, right? So I was talking to a young man the other day. He might be on right now. I don't know. He's a young man out of East Lansing, Michigan. He's a college student. And we were talking about our funding. And I wanted to make sure, as I would encourage all of you, and we're doing it right now with you, what is it that the platform represents? Oh, instant funding. Okay. What else does it represent? Funding when your bank can't help you. Okay, what else does it represent? Well, it's growth capital for those rock star business owners. Okay, what else does it represent? What else? What else? He never one time said a competitive advantage that beats the pants off every other company out there because they don't have all 20, they're only one. Exactly. Unless you're leading with that, unless you're making sure that's education is in their minds, they'll use others without you knowing it. They'll answer that telemarketer's call when they need funding and they just happen to hear from them that week. I have two today. I could, from these two, if I needed funding today and you weren't reaching out to me and I didn't know about Bank Breezy part, the all one-stop best offer, if I didn't know about that, I may answer one of these. But now that I know this person is probably going to mark my offer up, probably not going to give me the best offer, probably going to give me the odds of it being the best offer are slim. Even if it's the right process, or the odds of them giving the best price that they have to offer is slim. Because I know that, I don't respond to this. But if I don't know that, guess what? I respond to this. Timing's right. Yeah, I could use some funds. What do you got? Tell me about it. And all of a sudden, you lost me because you only talked to me about business funding. So you want to make sure you're leading with our competitive advantage. Our partner page says it. Our funding page says it, right? We've even got a graphic on the funding page now that says it. So we're doing everything we can, but I want to make sure you say it. Doesn't matter what we're doing because your clients half the time never get to your website. So make sure you're leading with our competitive advantage, because that offer, and then you put a $500 gift card on it if we can't get your best offer, that offer can't be beaten. It doesn't exist. On Deck, can't beat it. Rapid Advance, can't beat it. The sales guy working for On Deck can't beat that message. Nobody can beat that message unless they're part of DAC, unless they're you. Now, so if you're brand new with us, welcome. Glad you love that message. Glad you're here. Are you sharing it? Okay, we're going to start sharing it more and more. A couple announcements and then a pro tip, and then we'll go to your questions. Talked about the competition. Our job is we got to put them out of business, guys. We got to put those telemarketers and texters out of business. We want to make sure that every business in the world, if you think mortgages, who do you think of? Your local mortgage person or Rocket? They're the first mover on the national advertising. When they think business funding, who do they think of right now? Unless it's you and David Allen Capital and Bank Breezy, you haven't done your job yet, right? And most of my town doesn't think that. I got work to do. That's the good news. You can scale. There's a lot of work, and it's not just you. It's you and your team getting that word out. Our weekly calls, pro calls, every single day at 11:30 a.m. Use them, be on them. They're not wasted time. They're valuable resources. The information I shared the last 2 Mondays, you could make $500,000 a year, every year on a small team, just on the Mondays. And because I've done it and I do it and I earn it. And so I'm teaching what works. You don't need to go pay for that program and spend $7,000 and go to that specialist, or pay $12,000. I haven't heard anything from the $13,000 training that we're not saying. Right? Everyone's different, but there's nothing new out there to be shared. I got a training right here called Monopolize Your Marketplace from 2004, and it's on CD only. You can't get it anywhere anymore. The companies know the information is spectacular, but now you can pay $22,000 and go buy the same stuff refurbished as something else. It's all on YouTube free. And we share all the stuff that works. Someone said to me the other day, I want to know how we go out and get customers. What are the top people doing getting customers? They're doing what we're teaching. That's what they're doing. Nobody's beating what we're teaching. There's no one beating what we're teaching for getting customers. There's no one who's getting more customers some other way that we're not teaching. So use the training that you've got. The partner page is updated. There's videos there. Refer it out for building, but be on the pro calls. Use the pro calls. Bring questions to the pro calls. You want to be there live if you can. They're 11:30 Eastern. I know you can't make all of them, but I would try to make every one of them. And we're trying to get them under 10 minutes so that we can get to your questions and make them solid for 10 minutes. So Do what you can to be there. Okay, this is the agent update. The LMS is near integration. We're gonna have a new rank called referring partner. That referring partner is going to make a lot less than an agent. Someone's a referring partner until they get completed in the certification. So you'll be recruiting people who get paid a lot less until they get trained, till they complete the training. And that's being integrated with our program right now. So the good news is you're going to have better trained people. The bad news is some people will refer clients and make a lot less, and they're not trained. They're not going to get more. You're not going to get more because it's doing a disservice to our company to not be trained and yet talking to people about us. So you're going to part of your training is going to be when you recruit people who intend to be agents, they got to get their butts trained. It's part one. They'll be able to join. They'll even be able to have a referring site to refer, but they'll get paid less until they're trained. It's a qualification. All of you will have to get trained as well. You'll have to go through it as well. Not immediately, but we're still working through how we're going to do that for all existing agents. But you may have to do it when you renew, at least when you renew. But we may make it, you get 30 days or something to go through the training or something to bring everyone up to speed. So I'm still working through how we're going to launch that for existing. We know what it's going to be like for new. You don't need to ask questions about that right now. I just wanted to let you know that's kind of where we're going. We'll have more clarity on that as we get closer to launch, and we're hoping that's launched, this month. This is what I wanted to talk to you about today. The biggest issue we have is stalls on the application. Stalls, meaning they start the application, they didn't have their bank statements ready, and they stall. And you have an email that says you've got a Bank Breezy client that started, and we've sent them to Bank Breezy to complete their application. If you don't get another email that says completed, what does that mean? Stalled. Anyone who's experienced knows this, but I want all of you to recognize when you get that, the best thing you can do, you've got a captive audience there who maybe they didn't realize they need PDFs to upload their bank statements, which is the number one reason. So prepare them in advance. First of all, let them know they're going to need, just download 3 months of your bank statements, have them on your computer or in your files on your phone. They got to be PDFs. So when you go to apply, you can just select them and upload, so that they know that. But also, if someone goes that you didn't talk to, which a lot of my clients are people I didn't talk to, they're just clicking on my link and I see it started but not completed. It's my job to call them. It's my job to call them and help them out. Now we put a number on there that they can call Bank Breezy and talk to them, but most don't. They stall and don't call. So that means stall means what? You call. That's what you got to do. You got to call them, right? You want to call them to keep them alive, um, and help them with their clarity, what they need to move forward. Now, here's the challenge. Here's the challenge that I could say probably 90% of you are not, 90% of people who watch this. I don't know who's on here right now. I can't see y'all. But 90% of the people who watch this are not doing the challenge I'm about to give you. Okay. Um, I'm going to challenge each of you. I'm going to make this so simple, but we're going to get you a funding this month. If you just do this, you're going to get a funding this month. And hopefully that funding will be a 40,000 average funding. Okay. All you got to do is this, and you can do it in 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day. That's all I'm asking. If you're not willing to do this, you got to ask yourself, am I really a DAC agent? This is as minimal, as minimal, as minimal as it gets. Okay. I did this with my 15-year-old daughter. It's been a while, but last time I tested this, I did it with a 15-year-old daughter, and she did this for an hour and had 2 applications. Okay. So I'm putting it this way because it's not going to be something new, but it's something you don't do. Let that sink in. I don't care if you're 60, 90, 22, or a millionaire. If you're not doing stuff, doesn't matter how talented you are, doesn't matter how much you know about DAC, you're not prospecting, you're not getting new clients, right? Maybe it's from old clients, but this is the challenge. Write this down. two a day, 10 in play, follow up to grow your pay. Write that down. And then I'm going to ask you, if you're not willing to do this, two a day, what does that mean? Approach two people a day about our funding. Two a day, 10 in play means if you're approaching two a day, within a couple weeks, you're going to have 10 in play, meaning 10 in the process, either asking you questions or applying or talking to you about, they bring up payment processing. Something's going to happen because you're approaching two a day. Two a day, you do that for a couple weeks, you've already approached 14. Maybe it'll take you 3 weeks, you'll have 10 in play, 10 active in the engagement process. Two a day, 10 in play, follow up to grow your pay. Now, and don't ever do less than two. Sundays, do two. I'm not asking you to work on the Sabbath if that's your Sabbath, or Saturday's your Sabbath. And if you feel like that's a violation spiritually, then do four on Saturday or four on Sunday, but average two a day. Okay. Now, what am I asking you to do? Watch how easy we're making this. I'm not even asking you to call two a day. I'm not even asking you to text two a day. I'm asking you to email or text two a day. Minimum. Email or text. You're not even have to get out of your zone of comfort. You don't even have to get uncomfortable, maybe getting rejection. If everyone in our company approached two a day with an email, the way we teach it, I'm going to show you in a minute the right way to do it. If everyone in our company approached two, I don't even know how many people are watching this live on YouTube and here. What do we got? 50 some, I don't know. But we'd have 100 new prospects just from the 50 people that are on watching live right now. 100 new prospects hear about this. 70 of them would open it because we're going to teach you how to get 90% to open your email. And of those 90 who open it, 30 need funding right now. It's whether they're comfortable with what you said to pursue it or not, and whether they're comfortable with you or not, or what we've taught you to do. That's 30 new, just from the 50 of us on here, we'd have 30 new funding applications just from today's reach outs, or 30 who need it. How many apply? Who knows? If you have a team of 100 people and you get your whole team of you have a team of two people, and you and those two each approach two a day. Now, if you look the other way on this and you don't at least have a minimum culture of two a day yourself, and then we've made it simple. I'm just challenging you. I mean, this is child's play. People making $1 million a year say, I'm hurting you by offering you this. People make $1 million a year like, dude, to make $1 million a year, all you need is 200 fundings a week in your team. Go build a better team. That's what they'd say. Build a better team. Build a team of people who can talk to some people. Build a team of people who are willing to talk to people. That's what they'd say. Your offer is too darn good. If you're not doing 200 fundings a week in your team, you haven't recruited enough people, or you've recruited all the wrong people. And if someone's not going to get a couple clients a month, don't even count them as an agent. That's what people who make $1 million a year think. That's why they make $1 million a year. Right? It's not hard. 200 a week is $1 million a year in overrides, not even you personally. A team of 200 with one funding a week, and you're at $1 million a year. So that's a big number. I get it. I'm just showing there's people out there, that's the way they think, and they go make it. And then there's people who think, I don't know if I can approach two a day over the phone. I just don't want to do that. I don't want to. Okay, you're not interested in it. So we made it email. Now, but if you're not going to do this, I don't want to make you feel bad. Truly. It's like my wife saying to me, David, if you're not going to use Planet Fitness, just cancel the membership. I don't care that you're not going, but I don't want to pay $29 a month to have a black card at Planet Fitness so that you can go in any club in the country and you don't go to the one in your backyard. Just don't pay the $30. You can start again when you decide to go. Don't go, right? Common sense. And I'm going to say the same thing. If you don't want to approach two a day about our business, averaging 14 emails a week, then I would just ask yourself, do you really want to be an agent? Right? Now, what do you say? Now we're assuming you're going to. and you're gonna have a team culture. I mean, some of you should do 5 or 10 or 20 a day, right? It's not hard. Once you know the right way, you can do 10 texts, 4 phone calls, 3 emails, 4 canvassing, canvas as a customer, all the things we teach in the training. I'm not saying don't do any of that, do all that. But I'm saying if you're not doing any of that, at least do this. At least commit to emailing 2 people a day. And what you do in that email, in our Facebook page, our Facebook group, I've got actually what to say in that email. And some of you saw it and ignored it. Some of you saw it and implemented it. And you're getting applications or you're getting more opens. I'm telling you, as much as I teach it, people still put a subject line generic. I don't understand how you could put business capital tomorrow, business capital today in the subject line and expect it to work. I get 50 of those a day. Delete, 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 not 50 a day, but at least 10 a week. I don't even look at them. I just highlight, delete, 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 delete. Some of them could be you as agents. It's getting deleted. If it's got a subject line that is not privatized, it's deleted. It doesn't even get open. I'm not going to open it. And guess what? Nor is your clients. If you're putting a subject line that is just branded BS funding business chat GBT subject line, it's not getting opened. Just so you know that. Chat does not give you good subject lines. They don't. They give you a great subject line if you're writing a headline and people are coming to your page, but they don't give you a open my email subject line. Ask chat how to get an email opened. The way I'll tell you how it is from doing it, it's the subject line must be written only for that business and it's got to be something private. It takes extra time. It must be for that. Please, if you ignore this, don't even write the email. You're wasting time. You can send out 20,000 emails and get 200 of them opened. And they already think you're a spammer by the time they open it. They're just making sure you are. Right? You don't waste your time. But subject line that says something unique to them and only them, that's an email that works. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to get an application, but it's going to get opened. Eventually, when they check their emails again, they'll see it. And they may not even check their emails for 2 days, but they're gonna get it. Now, there's a company called HubSpot. HubSpot has email tracking. If you don't have something like a free CRM like HubSpot or something like that that does email tracking so that you know they open the email, I suggest you get it. The reason I say my daughter, when she was 15, I had her send those emails out. She got 2 applications. One got declined, one got approved and didn't take the offer. Okay. But it was 1 hour of email writing, 2 applications. She was 15. All she did was change the subject line and the first 2 sentences. You don't know me directly, but whatever that is, unique. It must be unique. And then followed up with something unique about their business. And then went into our sales pitch real quick, like 4 sentences. And in that hour, 70 or 80% opened the email, not 100%, but it was like 74%, something like that, of the emails went out. And she only sent out like 20 something emails. It wasn't a lot of emails in that hour. So to get 2 applications from an hour of emails, now we didn't do it any other, it was just enough to prove the point. And believe me, it's like, why not have just a team of emailers doing it? Thus the reason for today's call. Okay, so I'm not saying it's always going to work that way, but I am telling you it does work better. My son Addison, his first client was an email. He emailed a group of people and he didn't do a good subject line. He emailed a lot of people and then he did his difference, but he was in the Chamber of Commerce. So he listed the Chamber of Commerce in the subject line. So at least they knew it wasn't a spammer. But that wasn't near as effective. So the tools we teach in our business capital training works. The telephone works. The in-person works. The connect cards work. The emails work. The texts work. They all work. What doesn't work is not doing it, right? So commit to at least 2 a day. Just when are you going to do it? When are you going to do your 2 emails a day? Who are you emailing? Well, you're emailing businesses in your local Chamber of Commerce. locally. You're emailing businesses that you see in the yellow pages. You're emailing businesses that you see in your Valpaks. You're emailing businesses that you find on Google. I mean, if you go to Google right now and you just say restaurants within 5 miles, you'll get a bunch of restaurants. Go to their websites. You'll see their email address. You might even be able to see the owner's name. You see the street. Come up with a subject line that says something. So it's not as effective as going in person. It's not as effective as talking to them live, of course, but it happens and it is effective. So 2 a day minimum. Some of you say I'm going to do 5. Some of you say I'm going to 10. Some of you say 20. Great. It's to do individual emails takes some time, but not a lot of time. The Facebook group right now has the email suggestion on what to do right in it. I'm not saying do this instead of other stuff. I'm saying do this at the minimum. Make sure you're at least doing this. And if you're doing this, you'll have success. You just got to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. The numbers work on your side, and you follow up to grow your pay. Once you've connected and got relationship, you keep following up. So HubSpot is the CRM that's free. You could use them. There's other companies out there that have free CRMs. I've never used them. There's Mail Tracker by Google, which is free. And Mail Tracker will tell you if they open the email, but you're telling the client that too. Some people don't like, you're tracking my email. I don't like that. With HubSpot, you're tracking it. No, they don't even know you're tracking it. All CRMs, if you write it out of the CRM, it's just HubSpot happens to be free. So it's a great way to gauge. Okay, I wrote 10 emails. I got 3 people responded. Okay, well, how many opened the email? 5. That's amazing that you get that 3 out of 5 responded, right? So by tracking data, it helps you make your decision. And over time, imagine doing 2 a day for 6 months. You don't even feel it. It's like the daily payment for our restaurants. They don't even feel that $80 a day. They just did 2,000 a day in sales. They don't feel the 80. A month goes by and they've paid 1,600 bucks and didn't even know it. Well, the same thing. If you approach 2 a day, you've approached 60 at the end of a month. At the end of 3 months, you've approached 180 through email. End of, did I say 3 months? Yeah. End of 6 months, you've heard, oh, yeah, 2 times 30 is 60 times 6 months. You've approached 360. You've got clients. Now you've got a list of people that you're reaching out to periodically. 360 you've reached out to. You've got 150 of them or 100 of them are in your funnel that you're communicating with. But you don't stop. You keep going. But now you start seeing the fruits. So if you want to amp it up and say, hey, I'm going to do 5 a day for the first month and then go down to 4 and then 3 and then 2 and then follow up with all my old. But the challenge is, can you commit to 2 a day? If you commit to 2 a day, go in your subject line right now and just do it in the chat. In the chat, I mean, just write 2s. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Just put 2s in. In fact, I got to do this myself because I'm committing. Okay, I'm committing. I'm committing to everyone in meeting. This is me. When you see, that's me. That David Allen Capital, that's me. I'm committing to 2 a day. Who's committing to 2 a day? John says he's doing 5. Good job, John. You're going to 5. Beautiful. What you doing? A bunch of people are doing 2. Love it. And some of these people I know are active on the phones. They're active canvassing locally, but you're doing at least 2 a day. I love it. 2 by 10. Okay, you're going to do 2. Does that mean 2 by 10 a.m. or 2 with 2 by 10 people, 10 enrolled people doing 2? All right, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it coming by 10 a.m. Love it, PK. Okay, pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. And I won't commit to having it done by 10 a.m., but I'll commit to having it done before I go to bed. All right, 2, 2, 2. It's that simple. Well done, well done. Mm. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, be at 5. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so that's how easy it is. Now, some of you say, I'm going to do that for payment processing as well. Or my philosophy is I'm leading with funding and following up with payment processing. I want the residual. I want to help them. I'm leading with funding because we've got a competitive advantage there that touches that nobody can touch. Nobody can touch. Nobody can touch. Another activity that's is one of my little hacks. I don't want to get stuck on the phone with 20 business owners right now, but I can call 20 before they open and I can leave a voicemail. Booyah! You got people who are afraid to talk to people. Guess what? California time, Michigan time versus California time. You call a restaurant at 9 a.m., it's 6 a.m. out there. They may be there. You call it 7 a.m. your time, they're probably not there. Drop a voicemail. Is it as effective as calling when they're there? Of course not. Of course not. My text, I'm getting right now about 30% of my texts responded to, but I don't just text. I text and text again until they respond. My follow up is just circling back. So, and by the way, when I say 40%, it's really about 70% because 30% are going to landlines. Phone number on the side of a van is not a landline, or it's not a mobile number many times. It's a landline. And how do you think I start out my text? Just saw your phone number on the side of your van, or just saw your truck at Home Depot and I say the city. Just saw, simple. Guess what? That's getting open. That text is getting open. They may ignore it. And if they ignore it, then you can obviously say, I'm just circling back, just checking back. We're good. I haven't gotten from this month's tests, I haven't gotten funding yet, but I've got a lot of people, or if I need funding, I've got people who've watched the video. I got people who are educated about uh, the, the Breezy platform. The video I posted a couple nights ago has gone out to some of those people. They've watched it. They see where our now they can't unlearn it. They can't unlearn it. They're mine. I'm theirs. They got me. I got them. They can't unlearn that. But that's intentional. That doesn't just happen. All right. So our business funding training covers all this. We talk about it a lot, but I want to do more of a challenge. So tomorrow, go to the Facebook group page. When you've done it tonight, go to the page tomorrow and say, did it, did my two. When you're done today, go do it today. Every one of us can do it today. When we've done it today, say, did my two. I'll do it. You do it. Let's all commit to doing it. We all committed on here to do it. Let's do two and let's post it. You don't have to say did five, did 10. You can. Well, if you committed to five, sure. Say, got my five, email my two, email my five, email my two, email my five, whatever it is. Let's do it. And then let's have some praise reports. And again, don't grab a list and put them into a junk list machine and send out the same email to 40 people. Don't do it. Don't waste your time. First of all, Google knows you are, and Google might even throw you in spam. Individual email with an individual subject line, individually written. The bottom can all be the same. The top has to relate. The subject line must relate, and the second line needs to relate. And if you do, you will have success. You will have success. I can promise you that. I can promise you even more so. If you don't, you won't have success. Now, if we were working in a closed room together and there was 50 of you coming to my house every day, working in my home office here, and there were 50 of you coming and I watched you write the emails, I could put you on a draw. I can say, hey, if you're here and you show me you work 1 hour a week sending out emails and you do, 1 hour, you could get 20 emails out, if not more. You send 20 emails out every day in just 1 hour a day for 5 days, or you do it 8 hours a day, email, 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 I'll give you a draw because I know it'll pay for itself. Now I can't do that. It doesn't work, but that's how certain you'd be that you'd get funding. That's how certain I am that you'd get funding. Because anyone I've ever done this with and oversaw got applications. Every person I've done this with and oversaw has gotten applications. I've only done it with three, me and two others, but all three of us got applications in our first few days. Not first few months, first few days. And we didn't just do two. So I guarantee it'll work if you do it the way we teach. Now get your whole team doing that. Harlequin, I know you're on here. There's thousands of people in your team, right? What if you could get 100 of them doing this? You got 200 new submissions going out a day, 200 new emails going out a day minimum. You're going to get some fundings. That's 200 new people who've been educated on the thing and on the Breezy platform. So, and I know many of you have some teams larger, some smaller. Doesn't matter how big your team is. You do it, and then you can teach. Now, if you do this every day, and you say, "Look, I'm making an extra $1,500 a month from sending 2 emails a day. I get one client a month from sending 2 emails a day." Couldn't you teach a college kid to do that? Couldn't you teach a high school kid to do that? I don't mean college kid like you're a kid. College student. Couldn't you teach a 80-year-old a retiree to do that? 90-year-old retiree? The hardest part would be getting them to understand email, right? But if they already understand email, it's follow directions to be coachable. Couldn't you get them to do that? Even if you live in Canada, couldn't you email some people in the States? Yeah, where we have more funders, we have them in Canada as well. We can do it in Canada as well. But it really is that simple because there's no competition. So the email training in the Facebook page is great. Our business funding training's got other things you can say. Change it up a little bit if you want. Speak from your heart. And it's better to be local. It's better to be local. But local does not have to be vicinity. It can be localized by industry, by passion. You know, if you're a rock climber and you're just supporting hiking people, then get after all the hiking and outfitter stores throughout the country because you love backpacking or mountain climbing. Or you're a snow skier, man, help every ski resort in America or every ski equipment company, you know, sales organization. If you're a baker, man, and you love bagels, man, help every bagel shop in America. Be the bagel funder of the world, right? Start in your local town. So localized does not have to be city. They relate with your local city. They feel comfortable. Guess what? They're going to relate with you as well. I was talking to Brad this morning from Bank Breezy. We were on a group call, and he was talking about a client that just got a funding. The reason they got the funding is they own a dance studio. And Brad, when they got funding the first time with us, owned a dance studio. He and his wife and his daughter. And so they were applying for a dance studio and they were trying to explain things. Brad goes, I understand. I'm sitting in a dance studio right now as I'm talking to you on the phone, and I own a dance studio. I totally get what you're trying to do and why you do it. And I love it. And got him 25 grand. They needed 25 grand more. It's been like 4 years. Who'd they go to? They called Brad, not the agent. Who'd they call? Brad. Why? They remembered Brad, the dance studio. Now the agent got paid, but they called Brad, the Bank Breezy employee, because they related with Brad. Relate with the people by industry, by passion, by locality, by chamber of commerce, by BNI. Relate, relate, relate. All right, this has really become a funding training, but who's got some more twos? What's a good way to come up with a unique subject line if I've never been to the place I'm emailing? They're local. Should I just go to a website? Here's a good one. If they're local and you've been by their place or you've eaten there before, love your soup. Ate there last week. Subject line. Had nothing to do with funding. Just drove by. Just saw the line out your door. Came there yesterday, met Marcy, the manager. Love your pasta. Never had your cheesecake. It was amazing. It's something that has nothing to do with business funding. Please don't put business funding in the subject line or payment processor, whatever the product is. Well, David, we're not talking about canvas marketing, email marketing 50,000. I'm talking about what's going to work to help you feel local to them. It's not a sales pitch to get the email opened. And then your first line, you don't know me directly, but again, localized. But I'm a mountain climber and I love helping outfitting stores expand to help move our passion to the mainstream. Guess what? That retail store is going to look at you differently than hey, I'm a bank and I got business funding. You just told them you're a mountain climber yourself. You have a passion. They're an outfitter. They may be in Oregon. You may be in Vermont. It doesn't matter. You're one and the same. You're a mountain climber. And the more you can make it obvious that you got that passion for them, that's localized. Okay. That's what I mean by local and relate. You got to relate with them. You don't know me directly, but if you don't say that, when you've heard me say that 5,000 times, especially if you've been here for a while, that has come from literally getting thousands of clients, and not just with DAC. I haven't gotten thousands personally with DAC, but I do still have the most. So I would just and I would just say, trust. There's science behind the you don't know me directly, but blah 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 blah, and I'm just reaching out because blah 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 blah. There's a reason it's in there, and it works. It disarms and it relates and it makes them comfortable, and it's not manipulation. Don't do it unless it's real. If you're not into karate, don't lie and say I'm a martial arts lover. Don't lie. They're gonna sniff that out the first time they talk to you. Okay, be legit on why you're reaching out to them. So think local, or relate passion, or relate some other way. All right. And it can be, I went to a city called Bowling Green, Ohio, with three people who were agents. And this was back in like 17 or 18. We didn't have one stop best offer at the time. We just had, let's try to get them funding with one of our providers. But I remember that what we said, because we didn't have a competitive advantage except we're there. And so we went to Chase Bank first. It was a 2 block town. We went to Chase Bank first, talked to the manager. So we want you to know we're going to try to help every one of these businesses because we love to help when you can't. We understand you can't help all of them, but we can. So we want you to know who we are because they may call you. It's a small town. And this is our requirements, this is our criteria. And they're like, love it, love it, love it. Now, guess what we're saying when we go into the donut shop across the street? Are we anti-bank? No, absolutely not. We went in and said, "Hey, listen, I'm not from Michigan." This is exactly what I said. I'm not from this town. I'm actually from Michigan. But we're here to help this entire, our whole passion is to help this city right here. Why are we here? Because it's the midpoint between where that person lives and where I live. I'm just being honest with you. But our goal now is to make sure every business on this strip knows where they can go to get funding. We just met Marcy at Chase Bank, and she's great. She can help you. Great. But we want you all to know who we are in case you ever need capital to grow or you have a pinch and Marcy can't help you. We want to leave you our card, and we want to make sure everyone in this whole town needs to know about David Allen Capital. Then we'll have done our job. Whether you ever take money or not, doesn't matter. Our goal is to make sure this whole town knows who we are. You know what that did? Hey, have you talked to Tom? It wasn't even over the phone because we were in person. Have you talked to Tom across the street? He owns 4 of these businesses. He's always looking for expansion. Did you meet Tom yet? No, I haven't met Tom. Small town. Go meet Tom. What's your name? Lisa. Great. Lisa, I'll tell him. He said, so I've got this person at the bank. Now I've got this person at the Rexall Drugs. And now I'm going to go over there and talk to Tom, who owns the furniture store, this store, this store, and this store. And it's small town. And guess what? We were honest. The only reason I'm in this town is it's halfway between my home and there. And we wanted to meet and canvas together because we love what we have. I drove 2.5 hours. He drove 2.5 hours. That matters more than your terms. That is like honesty, authenticity. You're relating, and it's fun. And now all of a sudden, we're like, all we want to do is make sure everyone knows. That's it. And you can call Leslie over at the bank or whatever her name was. We already talked to her. And now you're just gathering cards and following up. So it's fun. 2 by 2, you can do that, but just be honest. Even if it is, I'm just calling because I'm committed. I'm a business owner like you, and I committed to at least educating 5 businesses today. And I didn't know, I just saw your thing on Google. And so I said, wow, that's a local business I've not met yet. Our script says, you don't know me directly, but blah, 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 blah. And we have a passion to help business. I live in this town, and I just want to make sure everyone in this town knows about our funding platform. That's a true statement if you're really doing that. I just want to make sure everyone at this intersection knows. I just want to make sure everyone, that's all I want to do is educate you. If you ever have a pinch, if you're ever going to get capital, we get the thing. So will you get more and more comfortable doing it? Absolutely. So that's local, live, through email, through phone, or in person. Just telling you, the more localized you can make it, the more success you'll have. All right. 2 a day, 10 and play, follow up to grow your pay. Let's see. I'll do walk-ins with anyone in San Antonio. PK, former branch manager, saying she'll do walk-ins with anyone in San Antonio. Is there any agents from Missouri? I'm sure there are, Tom. But if not, there's you and whoever you recruit. There you go, baby. There you go. And the person that I met in Bowling Green, Ohio, was from Columbus and drove all the way there. There was actually people came in from Indiana, Columbus. I said, let's do a canvassing meeting. I'll show you. And we had 5 people drive in, and we divided in teams of 2. Actually, we had 6 because we had 3. We had a group of 3 guys and a group of 3 girls, and we went and canvassed the entire town. And we were done in like 3 hours. Coffee in the morning, bank manager, and then canvas. Go meet business owners. I'm meeting and greeting business owners today since 9 a.m. I made 25 connections with handing out Connect cards. Called 25. Beautiful. Well done. 9 confirmed they need funding ASAP. Booyah, Sean. Come on, baby. I see Tyler's already giving you 100%. I'm giving you 100 as well. Booyah. Celebrate. That's awesome. And you know what? That comfort zone, getting out and doing that is not easy to do. But once you do it over and over and over again, it's easy in the buddy system. I've used this, my visit to your business. Yeah, there you go. That's your language. You could say, saw it, had it, ate there, tried it, whatever you feel comfortable saying that doesn't sound salesy works. You want to relate. They want to feel, if it's their brother-in-law talking capital, they feel more comfortable than a banker approaching them or a telemarketer, right? So be friendly with them, be casual. Look at that, Matt DeHame. He's called thousands of businesses. He says if you're on his team, Matt, maybe send an email out through the back office to everyone in your downline and tell them that. That way they know if they're on your team. Hopefully they already know, but that's awesome. And good job, Morgan. Applauding him on that. Way to go. I don't make a quarter unless they make a dollar. Dude, I love it. That's because he knows the pay plan. All right. We say we don't make a dime before you make a dollar because we make a lot less than you guys make on your teams. All right. All right. Who's from Maryland in the group? Eric, Orlando is, and you and anyone you recruit. That's the one thing to say. I was talking to that guy from Lance. He's like, well, I want to meet. So, okay, great. Get me on the phone with 10 of your friends and let's get 5 of them to join the Biz Op Tuesday. And now you got you and a guy. Doesn't have to be your upline. Doesn't have to be someone sideline. Why not build the team that you're going to canvas with? Why does it have to be someone else? You and one of them. That's what you do. You build the team to go canvas. You dominate the marketplace. Not in a mean way, but in a competitive advantage, man. We're kicking butt. This right here, this series, I'm missing one of the CDs. Oh no, I found it. Good. This series, you can't get this anymore. I'm not advocating to go listen to it because we already got everything. What we're telling you is already fits all this. This is an amazing series. This is how you monopolize the marketplace. One of the things you do is you have an offer that no one can touch. No one can touch the Bank Breezy offer. And then when you think about recruiting it, nobody can represent Bank Breezy without spending $2,500 a month. They got to join DAC. They got to join your team. We've got both ends covered. We got a $500 guarantee. If we can't get the best offer, we'll give them $500. I mean, come on now. The only thing we don't have is guaranteed leads for you. We pay you all that money. Is there an argument? I just want to ask you something. We've paid out millions in commissions. Is there an argument to a corporation if instead of paying millions of commissions, they spent millions on advertising and didn't pay commissions and just went direct to consumer, that you'd be bigger, that you'd have more customers? Yeah, there's an argument, but that's not my passion. My passion is to give you your own home-based business. That's my passion. So we've created a product that can monopolize the marketplace, a product that would work with ads, a product that would work with TV commercials, a product that kicks everyone butts. That as people know about it, they would tell everyone. That's the product. But my passion is I've been a network marketer that chased my dreams for a long time. And I saw 90% of the people I recruited could never accomplish their dreams with us, even though they tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. So this is an answer to that. DAC is an answer to that. And that's why I go off on these rants. This is not just a business. This is a passion to help you win. And so this 2 a day, 10 in play is the minimum to get you going. Why? Because I know if you do 2 and you do it for a little while, you'll have no trouble doing 4. And if you do it for a little while, all of a sudden you won't have a trouble talking to someone on the phone about it because they'll be calling you. I talk to McGuire on the phone now. Now he can talk to anyone. He's talked to thousands of businesses now. Last week he had what, 4 applications, 5 applications? Another 4 or 5 went to Giggle and Biddy. We have 4 or 5 go to Bank Breezy, and it's happening now. You start getting to the point where you can talk to anyone about this. He's using email and then talking to people who call it through the emails. So, guys, your comfort level grows as you go. It doesn't start comfortable. Unless you've been successful in business development, and Matt DeHame will tell you who he said he's willing to do 2 calls a day with anyone. When he started here, as much as he had done phone work and he's a professional, he's earned a living professionally over the phone, bringing comfort to a customer on the other end to say yes to an offer. Doesn't matter what the offer was. You have to have an ability to do that and a comfort level to do that. But even when he started here, it was a new conversation. There's discomfort. You may step on your toes. You may step on your own words, if you will. You may not know an answer to a question till you get asked. And there's still a discomfort because in the end, you're not the underwriter, you're not the bank. You don't make the decision. So you're caught between what you think you can get them, but what you might not be able to get them. And so there's still some discomfort, but you proceed anyway, and you eventually get real comfortable doing it. So um, two a day, 10 in play, follow up, grow your pay. Any questions from anybody? We don't need to go to comments yet. I just want to know if there's any questions because I've gone long and I want to make sure I got any questions answered because we say we'll get your questions. Go ahead, PK. How you doing today?
Good morning, David. I have a back office question and then just a quick comment.
Mhm.
The back office question is I was meeting a client in the morning yesterday
Yeah.
and he mentioned, hey, I would like some additional funding. And I said, and he wanted me to do the application. I said, I can't do the application for you. So I said, let me text Wade real quick. And I texted Wade, and Wade said, oh, he's done it before. Just tell him to send me his last three bank statements, and I'll get working on it now. So my question is, it's already done, it's already funded, but there's nothing in the back office. So is it because
Yeah.
the way, will it go in the back office?
It'll get entered into the back office when it's added to the CRM as a renewal.
Okay.
That'll be a manual add. So you won't see the status updates along the way because the only time you get status updates is if it comes through the app process. That's what adds it to our CRM that's connected to DAC. And then as that status changes, the DAC changes. But you won't see it until it becomes, when did it fund today?
It funded yesterday.
Okay, so when it's added to the CRM as paid DAC, it'll show in DAC.
Okay, and then
So
is it a
you,
renewal if it's from a different, like it's from Box?
yeah, renewal just means they're already in our system and
Okay,
it doesn't affect the commissions, whether it's a renewal or not. It just means it's a existing customer, doesn't count as a new customer at DAC. It's just an same customer, doesn't count as a new customer.
okay. And then the
Yep.
comment I wanted to make with this particular customer, he has always said, DAC, that is too high. Who would do this? It's too high. And I always say, think of it like I lend you seven, you pay me back 10. I always just
Yeah.
say it's simple like that so that they can get an idea. I will tell you, this is the second time, and I started talking to him in 2020, and he goes, man, I should have listened to you a long time ago. I love DAC now. He goes, I'll never doubt you. I should never question it. It's not even that expensive. Plus, his revenue is high enough that he said the weekly payments don't even phase him.
Yeah.
So just wanted to put that out there.
Thanks for the testimonial, PK. And as a bank manager, one of the things that banks have, everyone else out there, is lower monthly payments than ours. Ours are daily or weekly, but when you add it up, what they're going to pay in a month with a bank, let's say they got 100 grand and they're paying back 134 at the bank over 5 years. They're paying 1.34, but they have 5 years. They get 100 with us and they're paying 134 in a year. They're paying 134 both ways, but ours they have to pay off in 1 year, which makes the payment a lot higher in the first year, right? A
Yeah.
lot higher, 5 times higher. If they go through a bank, they're going to have 5 times less payment, 20% payment. It's a lot easier to manage, right? That's why we say if you can get approved at a bank and you don't mind putting up collateral and you don't mind waiting 2 months, you're better off getting at the bank because you get more time to pay off that same 134, let's say, at 12, that's 12% over 5 years. But they can't get approved at the bank usually, but it costs the same. It's just heavier. Usually it's the same, sometimes lower with us, sometimes more. But the difference is, guys, gals, like I love that 7 to 10. I like that because if you loan someone $7, paying back 10, you go, yeah, it's expensive, but it's that, I get it. And it's guess what? That is about 1.45%, 1.45. It's actually going to be lower that many times. And so that's a great analogy. I like to say 10, you're gonna pay back 12 to 15. But I like that 7 to 10. That's simple. Even kids in mid fifth grade know, hey, I'll give you $7. You got to pay me 10 back on Friday. Okay, what's
I
the interest rate? Three
I
bucks. You know.
I just say that all the time because it seems easier to understand. And the thing is, he can get approved by a bank. I've already told him. It's just that he refuses to put his business
Oh,
building
yeah,
as collateral because that's his baby. He built
yeah.
it from the ground up and he refuses. So the other thing is, I wanted to let you know your wife, Marlo, has a friend named Sherry Nettles.
Okay.
And she's going to be in New Braunfels tonight and Saturday morning at a women's conference. And New Braunfels is only like 35 minutes from me. So I'm going to be canvassing in New Braunfels today and I'm going to go see Marlo's friend at this women's conference tonight. So if there's
Nice.
any agents in New Braunfels that want to go canvassing, just send me a message and I'll be happy to meet you today right after this call.
And Sherry Nettles, I know the name. I'll mention it. Is she a comedian?
She's a comedian
Yeah.
and she's been on Marlo's Coffee Talk. And
Oh, beautiful.
yeah, she's been on and but I just saw her Facebook and she said, I'm so excited. I'm visiting New Braunfels. And I said, what? Where? What time? Because that's only like 35 minutes from me. And she
Well,
told me this is where I'm at. So I'm going there tonight to see her and I'll probably go Saturday morning also.
love it.
Yeah.
Marlo just records. Tell Sherry Marlo says hi. I'll tell Marlo to reach out to Sherry before you get there. Have you already communicated on the Facebook with Sherry?
Uh, I've already communicated with Sherry that I'm
All
going
right.
to see you, but I haven't told Marlo, and I thought you'd recognize the name immediately.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll mention it. Marlo has got a crew on the Christian side that she's friends with, and the comedian side, or the Christian comedian, and Sherry's a Christian comic. Yeah,
Yes, Christian Company.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yep, beautiful. All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, tell her we said hi, and I'll mention something to Marlo. Marlo recorded a video yesterday, a little DAC commercial that will be posted today on our YouTube page, today or tomorrow. Anyway, it's Michaela is putting it together as a post, but just a little 40-second video talking about DAC. And we encourage you guys to do that yourself on your own Facebook page. They work. Talk about the funding platform. We're giving you a lot of things to use. All right, no other questions? All right. We'll see you Tuesday night. We're doing the 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I know I already said that. We're doing another one Tuesday night. But between now and then, let's do two a day or jump it up from there. But at least do your two. And today, when you do your two, go to Facebook and say, I did my two. I did my two. In fact, let's do it in the email page. No, let's do our own post. Let's do our own post. But I'll figure out a way because we don't want to kill the page with just that, but we want you to get recognized. So for now, just go ahead and say, I did my two. I did my two. Maybe start copying on your own. Because when you comment on your own, it'll post it back to the top. So maybe comment on your own each day, and then we'll see 5 days, 7 days, 9 days in a row, 12 days in a row, 14 days. In a month from now, you'll have it. And then you'll say, I did my two, and yesterday I got a funding. I did my two, and yesterday someone did this. So track it, keep bumping it. Every time you put a comment on your own, it bumps it. I bumped the email training today. I went in and said bump. And so now that training is at the top of the Facebook page. So go in there and put a comment that you did your two, and then comment on your own. That's what you can do. Comment on your own each day. Comment on your own. Others will comment too, but comment on your own and then report how it went. Like PK just said, she got that funding today, and that's great to have these testimonials. So it's always fun. All right, God bless you all. Have a great weekend. We're loving everything going on. Hopefully you are too. Got some neat stuff coming.